various regions and various tribes has confessed to the fact that Nigeria was not meant to be. But some of them do not have the balls to pursue it and follow it up. But we, the Biafrans, know what we want, and we are following up. That is why we can never chicken out. We can never run away. And I'm going to share some videos to confirm to you that some people, some other people who are not even Biafrans, are aware of this wickedness and trials. And they are joining their voice to our own voice also, so that it wouldn't be that only the Biafrans are speaking. That is why we bring you information from all angles. We bring videos made by Biafrans, videos made by non-Biafrans, so that you can begin to make your comparison. When you compare, you make your decisions, and you understand that whatever we, the Biafrans, are fighting for is not out of selfish interest, is not out of ignorance. It is what is right to do. And I want you to listen to this very video.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude to anybody, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, and I don't want to insult anybody. What I'm saying is that it is the real truth. The real problem of Nigeria, are Northerners. Northerners, Fulani, Hausa are the problem of Nigeria. They don't want our Nigerian progress. If they are not the one in power, then nobody can do it. It's only them that can do it. If you say you will deprive Igbo people from having what is supposed to be theirs, allow them to go for their Biafra. If you say Yoruba people are not competent, they cannot rule Nigeria, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, should just stay and rule ourselves. If we kill ourselves, that's our business. You cannot say no, because Igbos, you think Igbos are thieves, Igbos are wicked, Igbos are this, they are that, they are this. There is no way that there is not the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you cannot help the Igbos, allow them to go. If you cannot carry the Yorubas, if you don't want them to rule you, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, will rule ourselves. If it's going to be better. We are one Nigeria, so we want the best for Nigeria. So we should look at where we are going wrong so that we can perfect it.
Minister of Works went to Sokoto. He's telling Sokoto that the job will start from Badagry to Sokoto 2027. You did it before. We can't do it. We cannot vote Tinubu. We can't vote hungry. We can't. How many votes do you bring from Iboy? As a governor, Omahi. Your Excellency, how many votes do you bring from Iboy during the campaign? How many votes? Even for your vote from the East as well, Tinubu will not become a president. We will vote Tinubu from the North. So you can't tell us what we know what to do to remove him 2027. Serious. You can't command anybody in Sokoto. Who are you? Because they give you contract of 15 trillion. You say Sokoto? Who are the contractor of that company? What is the name of the company from Badagry to Sokoto Road? And why did they start? Where did they put their bulldozer? You are telling people a story, lie. You are a liar. And God will ask you that in what you are telling people. It is no good. And now you revoke contract to Kaduna for the road. Where are the contractors? Which contractor do they give the road? From Okonga to Jos, problem. From Jos to Bauchi, Gombe, all have to go out to Maiduguri. That problem. Where do they do the road? From below here, if you are going to Kalba, the problem. From here, if you are going to no road you commission as a minister. Before when you come, you are visiting the home site, putting free helmet, within what I will do this. So this is just one time campaign. Why don't you go campaign for Sokoto? We cannot vote Tinubu for 2027 from the north. We cannot. It's like that we die. We cannot vote hungry. So funny that the only appointment where it is appointing Yoruba from Lagos, not from Ogun, not from Ondo. Then we go voting for what? This person who is taking one side. Okay, why they not arrest Sandy? He wants a protest in London. Tinubu doesn't know they arrest him. But they are sending security to arrest Bello Bodejo, arrest Kanu. People who are standing for their people, they want to arrest them because this one is a Fulani, this one is an Igbo one. The Sanjago is patrolling, even is making a party yesterday. He threw a party in Ibadan. He was not arrested. Somebody is preaching for Adudua. Then you want us to vote again. Then when we vote for 2027, what will come out? Then what we are afraid, and then this person, the same person want to change vehicle every year. The president every year will change vehicle. Food alone for presidency is 49.6 trillion for food, billion for food alone for president. Then you want to change vehicle every year. Do you come to change the vehicle, or you come for function, or you come to work for Nigeria? Mr. President, I campaign with you. You know me, I know you. You say we should give you Nigeria. There's a new hope. Which where is the new hope? All you tell us is not true. And you say you suspend all your activities in Lagos. Okay, you suspend that because people die on the food. What do you send the food for them to celebrate the Christmas? You have no activities there in Lagos. You just go there to rest. What's your activities? You say, just a pity, Your Excellency. You don't have any activities there. You go there to rest. And people die for hunger because they want to get the food. Do you send the food for those people so that brother can go for Christmas? No. You say suspend the activities. That cannot solve the solution. We expect you to send like 100 or 300 trailers to that area so that people can go for Christmas everywhere in Nigeria because of this shameful something that happened, which the world have seen it. Because it has seen it is under already. This is the first time that Nigerian, the giant of Africa, people will die for food inside crowd because of food. You will die. It's a shame. Not war, not anything. Then you are talking about voting. No security in Sokoto, no security in Zamfara, no security in Kaduna. Then people are dying. They cannot follow the road travel. Then you say we know what to do 20. Thank God you say we know what to do. 20 to 27 before 12 Oga, you don't go. You and your Oga will go and we will investigate you. Mind you, after that, we'll investigate all the money you collected from Ministry of Works. Beware. Because I have the total, all the money given to you. So, beware. You will visit EFCC after we come up 2027. By 12 o'clock, your Oga, you follow, maybe you vote you and Igbo and Lagos, but not for not. We can't vote him. We can't force us. Who are you? Even to tell us whom to vote. Who are you? Who are you? You are challenging us all the Lord. Who are you? What qualification do you have? I'm having the PhD. You can't compare with the engineer. You say you are engineer. Engineer to whom? You are engineer for God. People are fighting between your border and Benue. What do you do to that solution? Do you go there and visit the place that you see? Do you commission any route as a minister since you come? No. Then you expect us again saying what you are telling what to do in Sokoto. We should vote. You are not. Your campaign is nonsense. We can't vote. 2027, we are taking Tunumbu out. We can't vote where a Christian can die for hungry. Once Salah comes, the same thing. Muslim will die for where they are collecting rice. We can't continue this hungry. Poor party is too much. That is just to show. It's a shame. To Central Bank Governor, Jenika Doso, CBN Governor. You want to reduce 1,000 to disengage them from their work, and you expect to spend 50 trillion. Why? All you are listening is billion, 50 billion. You bought a vehicle, 6 vehicles, 10 billion.
You have just had, this is the country, the zoological republic we want to get out from. You see the lamentation of the people from the north. And they concur that Nigeria is not meant to stay, even though they are scared of going the way we are going. But they confirm that the zoological republic doesn't stand. And I want you to pay attention to their tone. Everything that you had in that very speech that I just played that is about tribe. You will see them, they are mentioning tribe. Either it's about Igbo, or it's about Yoruba, or it's about Hausa, or Fulani. Every speech in the zoo is about tribe. The dangerous diversity that is not meant to stay. Anybody that cares about humanity on this planet Earth should pray and join force in the destruction of that entity called Nigeria. Anybody that cares about human life should pray, not only pray, join force in the destruction of that entity called Nigeria, because it is not meant for human being. It is not meant for humanity. It's a place that humanity is destroyed. A place that humanity is under attack. That is what Nigeria is. a place that humanity is under attack. The confirmation is coming from the north, from the west, from the east. Every single person there, none of them agrees that that entity is supposed to live the next 1 minute. But for one reason or the other, the criminals have succeeded in promoting their own agenda and pushing forward what they want. All the politicians say it is about tribe and it is about themselves. Personal interest, personal interest, personal interest, not the interest of the masses. When Canadian court said that Nigerian ruling parties are terrorist organizations, some of you think it's a joke. Some of you think they're not paying. They are watching. And they are seeing every single thing that is happening in that zoological republic. They see it.
I am Najat Muhammad, the founder and chairperson board of trustees for the Northern Star Youth Initiative. There is no retreat, no surrender, no apologies to Nuhurbad. I'm speaking in response to the recent threats and intimidation by Nuhurbad using his attack dogs and his lawyer Ahmed Raji and co. Regarding my statement that the then chairman of the ESCC had publicly accused the then governor of Lagos State, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, of being, and I quote, a corrupt government official who will not escape justice. While I acknowledge that Nuhurbado might have forgotten or chosen to retract his comments from the past, I stand by my statement and do not believe an apology is warranted. Apology to whom exactly? To President Tinubu for the earlier comments made by his now National Security Advisor? Or apology to Nuhurbado for his forgetfulness and master-serving mindset? I stand by my original statement and will not be retracting it. My words accurately reflect my views on the matter based on what is already in public domain. And I do not believe an apology or retraction is necessary. I will not compromise my position to appease Rubado and his attack dogs. I will not retract my statement, nor will I apologize for speaking the truth as I see it. No, Rubado, you have issues. As you have threatened, please go straight to court, but nothing will silence me. You must understand that you cannot intimidate me. No one can intimidate me. I live for posterity, not for people like you. I have, over the past 48 hours, received multiple threats, calls informing me that you seek to send your attack dogs on me. It is so unfortunate that your attack dogs need to notify me before arresting me. If this is the new standard of operations of your attack dogs, Nigerians must stop wondering why non-terrorists and bandits continue to evade arrest while truth sayers and patriots are being oppressed, detained, and threatened. Finally, I have just received reliable information that there is an existing attempt to subvert the judiciary for further intimidation, to force me into retracting my statement. No, Rubado, you have failed. You have failed the nation. You have failed your cause. You have failed yourself. I refuse to be intimidated. I'll continue to tell the truth as I understand it. And let me tell you that no amount of intimidation, no prison on earth is the judge afraid of. The only prison that I fear of is the prison that you will all go into. That is our graves. But even that, I have no fear because I live in harmony with my Creator. So, do your worst. The worst is best for you. I stand by what I say. I'll continue to say it. I don't care what you think or what you do. I stand by what I say. Long live the Federal Republic.
So you've had the discussion that was made and the defense that was put forward. In that very defense you saw there, she was talking about Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA of the present president of Nigeria. You know him, Nuhu Ribadu. This was the same person who was in charge of the EFCC, the same person that investigated Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And today, he is the NSA. You can imagine when such person becomes the National Security Advisor, the same person that have much information about the so-called Tinubu, and all of a sudden has now become an angel. Now you understand why the Biafrans wants to walk away from the Zoological Republic. That is why they want to leave. And who in his right senses will see all these things and still remain in the contraption called Nigeria? Nobody will. No sensible person will see all this and continue to be part of that arrangement. We have several confirmations and several videos that proves that this can never work. And what we are asking for and what we are crying for is actually what every other person is complaining about. It has never worked, and it will never work. Every time there is a plan to make the place succeed, the politicians and those who are in power make sure it doesn't succeed. And I want you also to listen to this very video of how they exploited the Ajakuta Steel program. I want you to pay attention. Listen to this.
Telling them that, look, we are nearly completing the fund, but we cannot complete the 2% because we need the infrastructure set up. Because once the 2%, which is largely the blast furnace, once it's ignited, the blast furnace is to run for 18 to 25 years non-stop. That means many people say, why did the Russians really wanted the Jakarta to work? Why did they leave at 2%, at 98%? It's because if they had started, we would have had a wholesome damage. And for these 3 years, which was more than enough to have the infrastructure running, the roads, dredging. At that time, they even proposed the dredging of River Niger, but not one letter was responded to, and they had to leave. It was a sad experience, they had to leave. It was more sad because, like I said, people like me, many Russians that came to Nigeria and got married to Nigerians, they were separated. My mother till today does not even have a Nigerian passport, even though my father wasn't working for it, but the rules were not so prevalent. So when they left, I'll read now, in October, when the Russians left, and we had such huge debt to pay, they did not take Nigeria to court. They kept us sending letters of reminder. How are you going to pay this? But most importantly, they reminded Nigeria, if you are interested in continuing the completion of your plans, let us know. We would come back. All we have to do is renegotiate. But what happened was, in October 1995, I'm going to read from this part because there are some key words I don't want to miss. A series of debt buyback transactions took place whereby the debt instruments were sold at inflated prices to Liberian companies, purportedly owned by the Abachas. The two companies are called Parallel Shipping Corporation and Necosta Securities. These are two companies that were registered in Liberia, and these are the two companies that bought their debts. Now, on one part, Parallel Shipping Corporation and Necosta Securities, on one part, they were negotiating the reduction of that near $1 billion debt. And Russia waived away over 400 million. I said, you know what? A struggling country, a small country, just pay $500 million. Forget about the rest. While on the other hand, the Abacha administration told Nigeria that the Russians insisted on the money on the near $1 billion, and apart from that, they were debts incurred upon the debt buyback.
So that amounted to 2.5 billion. So that means 2.5 billion were taken from our reserve, while only 500 billion was paid. So that is the deadline. 2014. The Egyptian government embarked upon a huge project to dualize the Suez Canal. And that Suez Canal, the presidency sold the idea so patriotically to the people that $8 billion was raised in 10 days. Mr. Speaker, these are facts. $8 billion was raised in 10 days from a country that has a population of just 91 million. They don't have individuals as rich as Nigeria. But what matters is leadership and the ability to connect to the people so that an average person on the street, the person roasting corn, the organizer, everybody will believe in this national dream. And the crime against Ajakuta is a crime against Nigeria. And there is no court, supposing this $525 million was actually an order of the greatest court on earth. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and we decide to allow criminals or not to allow criminals into our land, whether they are nationals, Nigerians, or foreign. So, sir, it's actually Nigeria's duty to ensure that people who have committed crimes on this land are not holding our most precious assets. I also would say that Ajakuta and Itape must not be privatized or possession, but be owned 100% by the federal government of Nigeria and operated alongside the original builders only in areas of technical expertise. And once there is an absolute transfer of technology, the Russians can go. We believe we have seen Nigerians around the world conducting amazing things in engineering, so there's no reason why they shouldn't. We would also like to appeal that this Honorable House asks to get the executive to assemble a team of economic experts to travel to Russia, which I'm speaking with regards to the bilateral agreement, which is still opening, but standing open. Because we believe that once a country or two countries come together and agree on a particular reasoning, then that is binding on the nations. It's upon meeting with President Putin that Nigeria can then begin to decide the way forward. And I also agree with the previous speakers that there has to be a redesign of the steel sector. Why a redesign? Because when I visited Russia 2 years ago and I spoke with the original builders, they told me that the plan upon which the Nigeria steel industry is built, it was designed in 1971 by the geological survey conducted by these same original builders. And they said by now, the advancement of technologies and innovation in the sector has caused the realization and usage of new materials which were ordinarily not known to them then. They also told me that we might be oblivious of the fact that Rolls-Royce today, the great Rolls-Royce, uses important alloys sourced from Kogi State, probably supplied by legal miners. But that is why I say it is very important that we call them back to conduct another survey, because probably in the modernization and upgrade of the plant, there could be new sectors that are injected, so that new minerals can be incorporated. Thank you. And I will say again that I know many will talk about why am I promoting Russia? Why am I not promoting China and India? With due respect to every country's steel capabilities, the greatest steel plants in China today and 5 of the biggest steel plants in India, citing Belial, which for the 12th consecutive year has won the best steel plant in Asia, was built by this same company. So why is a very big question. What has Russia done, and why are we shying away from approaching the people who actually envisage this dream for competition? My Nigeria must be ready for sanctions. That's one thing I'm going to say. It's not easy to go against the Western bloc. We must be ready for sanctions because at the end of the day, we must dream of a big, great Nigeria. Because for all it's worth, trade is always better than aid. Trade is always better than aid. Nigeria should position itself to be a country that will give other African countries aid. We should be the country that Ghana, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, they run to for loans. Not all of us scrambling for loans from the Chinese.
This very video exposes one of the greatest fraud in the Zoological Republic. You know, most of the videos I play here, some of you who are very interested in saga will not like it. Some of you who are interested in Basbos, you want to hear about your brother issue. But now, I am focusing on speaking to the international communities, more especially Finland, for them to know the reason why we don't want to be part of Nigeria. The Ajokuta Steel project is one of the greatest fraud committed against that Zoological Republic itself. Ajokuta Steel. And these are why we don't want to be part of this madness. And when I say there is nobody that is a Nigerian, all this fraud confirms it. That anything that will make the zoo to succeed, you will see people that will stand against it. The same people who are there, they will stand against it and make sure it doesn't work. Any move to make the zoo succeed, they will stand against it to make sure it doesn't see the light of the day. We don't want to be part of Nigeria. We don't want to be part of this madness. We have been there for too long. And that is why today the Biafran people are speaking and speaking loud. Nigeria is the only place where the citizens prefer to die in prison abroad than to come home. Nigerians prefer to remain in prison than to come back to Nigeria. Because they don't have a home. Anybody that have a home, as in also when they are chasing you outside, you run back to your home. That is what the right thing to do. But when you don't have a home, when they are chasing you, where are you going to run to? It is only Nigeria that their citizens are abroad. Instead of them to come back home, they prefer to jump from story building and kill themselves. Many have committed suicide just because they don't want to come back to Nigeria. They commit suicide. When the Biafrans are saying, we don't want to be part of this madness, it is not just because it is to save life. The only remedy to save life remains Biafra. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you get angry, you don't get angry. Listen.
Anything to be as a citizen of this country. And teacher, when I was in the Algeria, Jenet, there is a state called Jenet in Algeria. They arrest us in desert. I was trying to escape through desert to Europe. That was awesome. They take us to their cell, to their prison, after judging us, they take us to their prison. And teacher, do you know the way they take us? And teacher, they feed me as if I'm in my father's house. In the morning, they will give me rice. In the afternoon, they will give me. In the night, they will give me tea and bread. The next day, they will give me tea in the morning. In the afternoon, they will give me chicken, full chicken. We are many, Nigeria and Nigeria. And so when we are there, they ask us, which work will you like to learn? I learned Biafra in Algeria prison, Jenet. I learned how to ban birds in 6 months when I was there. The day they want to send us, they want to deport us back to Nigeria. I was crying. I was telling them, no, I'm not going to be in this prison. I said, I don't mean to be in this prison. They said no. They said no. You must come back to our country. One of us was crying. Didn't put any furniture. Many people are learning how to share it up. This place of jobs in that prison. I think if they see me, I fall. If they see my friend, I say, God, in that prison, I'm living like a king. I think the people need to travel and see that we're blessed in our own country. We are suffering in Nigeria. I'm praying.
Did you hear that? This is somebody who is testifying that he found himself in prison. Not even in Europe, in prison, in North Africa. This is not even Europe, North Africa. They had opportunity to learn work. They can eat their meals. And when they wanted to send them back and deport them after they have served, they don't want to go. That they prefer to remain back in prison than to go back to Nigeria. They prefer to, only Nigerian person can say that he prefer to be in prison. Look at the testimony of the guy. Listen to him, what he said.
They want to deport us back to Nigeria. I was crying. I was telling them, no, I'm not going to be this prison. I said, I don't mean to be this prison. They said no. They said no. You must go back to our country. One of us was crying. They didn't have any furniture. Maybe I let have to return and go. This person was jobs in that building. And if they see me, I fall. If they see my friend, I say, God, in that prison, I'm living like a king. I think the people need to travel and see that we're blessed in our own country. We are suffering in Nigeria. I praise Nigeria government.
I've lost him. I've lost him. I've lost him. Someone said to me that he...
You can imagine, this is North Africa, Algeria to be precise. In Algeria, prison. A Nigerian they want to deport him. He said no, they should leave them to remain in prison. There they are learning handwork. They eat their food. They live like kings. And when it comes to deporting them back to their country, they said no, they prefer to remain in prison. Only a Nigerian can prefer to be in prison abroad than to go back home. You see why it is necessary that Biafra break out of Nigeria? It is, you see why nothing will stop us from breaking out of Nigeria. Nothing. Nothing will stop us from breaking out from Nigeria.
I've lost him. I've lost him. Someone said to me that he traveled through the desert and he was arrested in Tunisia, a Nigerian, and he said he was put in prison. Well, he said he was put in a place where they stored asylum, illegal migrants or something like that. And he told me, and his best experience was the food. He said it was how they were fed. He said they were fed. He said that he drank the given milk every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a prison in Venice. There's a prison in Venice. The prison has a job system where the prisoners create cosmetics. So you go to school, you learn how to make cosmetics, and the prison makes cosmetics for some of the top Venice hotels. So you go to a restaurant, you go to a hotel where you're paying $2,000, $3,000 a night, and your cosmetics, your soap, is made by prisoners.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? These are things we can do even better than every other person. And that is why we want to move away from the zoological republic called Nigeria. And nothing will stop us from going out of Nigeria. Nothing. We have made up our minds that we are going to walk away from the zoo. No amount of propaganda, no amount of blackmail, no amount of lie will hold us back from getting out of the zoological republic. That death trap, we will escape that death trap. We will escape that death trap. No matter how they do it, no matter their lies, their propaganda, we must get out of it. And I want every one of you to listen to this very one. If you are a Biafran, you must prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. The message that our Prime Minister preached, and Mazda kind of preached, was message of defense, that we should defend ourselves. They are not the only one that's preaching it. Every region, every tribe is preaching the same message and going around with the same message.